Okay. I don't know what to think about this. I don't have to take his words to mean that, oh, I'm making Johnny think that I'm retreating from, taking over or doing whatever I want. And then I'm going to strike when he doesn't, when he lets me in and, lowers his guard. I don't know. I have to take it as that. But I feel like, because I feel like otherwise everyone is like redeemed. But then again, it's hard for me to imagine that, that he made up all these lies about where he was. But when he was actually just staying, in this, I guess, place for, I don't know exactly what, for veterans or something, and then he knew to use that against Johnny so that Johnny would, lower his guard and all that. I mean, I don't know how much he planned all that, if that's really true. I mean, in any case, though, I didn't feel for the redemption scene. I was just like, okay, really? I mean, to some degree, the point is that, everyone is probably not wholly evil and they have, their circumstances and stuff. But I don't know, it just felt like, really? Like we're going to supposedly care about, or at least like feel kind of empathy or something, or sympathy for Kreese. I don't know, I didn't like it. I didn't feel like he deserved, like, I mean, not that he deserved or not deserved, but like after everything that he's done. I mean, that's the point of second chances, I guess. But yeah, so I'm not buying it fully. And if he really is, just manipulating Johnny like more and more and more, then that's creepy as hell. Because Johnny's already has like this really complicated relationship with him, and and he thinks that he's doing something like really good by giving him a second chance, and it's like, okay, I'm working out this part of my life, I'm making amends for stuff and kind of like redeeming myself and other people in my life, and things are all turning for the best. So it's gonna hit him really hard if that's not the case, or I don't know. Yeah. So Miguel's like suspicious, but he doesn't know what Johnny found out. And again, I don't know like how he devised it exactly. Like, did he figure out that Johnny would follow him and make it sound as pathetic as possible? Like he figured that talking about how great he was like didn't win him any favor from Johnny, so instead he was like, okay, I'm gonna turn up the the victim card all the way or something, or I'm going to make him like feel for me, and that way I'll finally like be able to really get up and close and be allowed to do stuff. I want to think that he's just manipulative and working out like strategies to, I don't know what, take over the dojo again so that he can be, the sensei. I don't know exactly, but I want to think that he's evil, But then again, like, I mean, the fact that he's like poor and didn't have a job and like doesn't have anywhere to stay really or something. Like, I wonder if that's complete bullshit or if it's real. And then it's like, okay, he's a manipulative bitch, but not at least, but like we know that he has like this, aspect, like this thing that makes him at least, makes you at least like understand his motivations in some way, or makes him, less of the evil mastermind that has everything and is in control of everything supposedly or something, kind of. So anyway, I wonder what direction that's gonna go in. But for now, that's what we got. And then we have the whole thing with like suddenly there's a new girl in Cobra Kai, but I was thinking that maybe it was like kind of a parallel between like like, you know, Robbie and like Sam suddenly has Robbie and she obviously notices him and all that. And then we have Tory, like, you know, in Cobra Kai, but Miguel doesn't seem to be really like. I mean, he fought her at first, but doesn't seem overly interested in her. I mean, we didn't focus on any of that, to be honest. Like, we focused on her and Aisha, so I guess it's in a way it's also a parallel there, because Aisha is like Sam's friend, and then now she is replacing her with this other friend, with this other completely different, completely opposing, you know, mindset and behavior and everything, which like is kind of an antithesis, I guess, to Sam in every way. I will say that it was cringy, because obviously Sam suspected her, but I was like, ugh. Even if it was her, the way that Sam handled it was not how she should have done it. Obviously, like, we know. She just, like, immediately jumped to conclusions and just, you know, and made her, like accuse her in front of, you know, a friend and stuff. It was not good. It was not good. So it's definitely, you know, like, yeah, I guess we're just going back and forth with Aisha and Sam. Like, they're not friends. They're kind of friends. They're not friends again. They're kind of like trying to, you know, to reconcile. And now this. I mean, Aisha at least like said, "Are you okay?" and stuff, which I appreciated. Like, at least she didn't write off Sam completely. But I definitely got her walking away from there, because it was embarrassing, honestly. And then we had this whole setup of, like, you know, of Robbie going up to, you know, to fight his two friends, and then, you know, Daniel like coming in to help him when he would like just smacked on the head, and then they didn't even use it, which I get. Like, he was kind of reminded of the way Miyagi does things, and he was like, okay, I'm not going to force it, I'm just going to wait for them to come to me, which, you know, I do appreciate. I feel like I'm saying that a lot in this episode, but, like, you know, I mean, there's definitely something in just believe, like, doing your best and kind of believing that it will come, and then kind of believing in, like, I don't know, in the universe, that, you know, things will work out, because that kind of thing does help things work out. Exactly this approach of, like, not, like, I guess the more defense approach, the not trying to just show off and fight, you know, Cobra Kai with the same kind of, because, I mean, the thing that, you know, this competition would have just, I feel like, would have made them, I mean, and it did kind of, that was kind of the point, that it made them in some way, like, compete kind of on the same level, like, in some way, like, you know, showing Daniel kind of fighting these guys, like I understand why he didn't want to show that as, like, you know, as a thing they do at Miyagi-Do, because it was exactly what Cobra Kai would, you know, that was exactly what they showed off pretty much at the Valley Fest and stuff, like that was not, like, you get to learn to do that, you know, with karate, but it's not the way, not the thing that represents him or what he wants his dojo to be, you know. So it made sense that he wouldn't want to, like, do anything with it. I mean, after the fact, it made sense, but I was sure that, you know, oh, okay, you know, it's gonna show the world how cool Daniel is and everything. But, and then it was funny how it was like, oh, okay, you know, I'm just gonna wait. The people who need our dojo will just show up, and then of course Demetri shows up on the second. The writing here in this show is very kind of cliche a lot of times, which I kind of love. There's something about it that's, you know, you just kind of have to embrace the quirky kind of obviousness of it, I guess. But some of the scenes are like, ugh, really? Like with Kreese, for instance, and what was it when I said, oh my god, that was so on the nose. Oh, when Sam was like, goody two shoes, like, oh, you shouldn't steal that. That will get you into trouble and stuff. Like, yeah, I get that she's the good girl and Tori's the bad girl, but it was so like so cliche. But okay. So it does make sense that he wouldn't do that, and like that Daniel would just cling to, you know, to Miyagi's way of doing things, and for that to work out for him so fast. That is awesome. And I'm glad for Demetri to be, you know, part of their dojo. That's going to be great for him, I think. And it also shows, you know, that, like, I get that Demetri, like, wants to do karate because it kind of, you know, it's become so cool, and he kind of wants, you know, to do it to be cool and stuff and get the girls and everything. But, I mean, after getting punched in the face, he sought out, like, a different dojo to train at. Like, you know, that's kind of a lot of effort to put into something that you're not exactly, like, that you're doing for, like, not pure reasons, you know? But still, you know, so good for him. I think he, you know, just put in that effort means that, you know, that he deserves to, like, for this to work out for him. And I definitely feel like, you know, it can work out for him, because it's exactly the kind of difference that he needs, I guess, in the approaches. Of course, oh my god, just thinking about the starting, you know, the opening scene with him talking about how he needs personal space and he wants to kick and to whatever, but he doesn't want to be kicked. That's not gonna work out in any way, but he needs a more gentle kind of way of, I guess, of accepting what karate is, I guess. And Miyagi-Do definitely can answer that. So it's interesting how that turned out. Like, I like that. We'll see. We'll make a karate man of Demetri yet. But it's really like splitting, you know, this friend group down the middle. Like, we had Sam and Aisha. We had Sam and Miguel, obviously, at some point. And now Eli and Demetri. I don't like Eli. He's too much for me. Anyway, so, okay, we'll see how Demetri does and how things go. And I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Special thanks to my top Patreons: Writing Tier, Andy Plays All Night, Terranor, Michael Gabriel, Shadows Moon, and Marsh. And to the rest of my amazing Patreons, who without their support, I would never be able to keep on doing this. Thank you so much.